T10 lamps and T12 ballasts are not interchangeable. T10 lamps are designed to operate with T10 ballasts, and T12 lamps are designed to operate with T12 ballasts. If you use a T10 lamp with a T12 ballast, or vice versa, the lamp will likely fail prematurely. It is important to use the correct ballast for the type of lamp you are using. In the situation you described, where T10 lamps were used with a T12 ballast and a T10/T12 ballast was installed, it is not surprising that some of the lamps have failed. The T10/T12 ballast is designed to operate both T10 and T12 lamps, but it is still not ideal to mix lamp types in the same fixture. The pink T12 lamp you observed could potentially have been a Tate lamp misidentified. Tate lamps are physically similar in size to T12 lamps, but require a different ballast. Using a Tate lamp with a T12 ballast would also lead to premature failure. To resolve the issue, it is recommended to replace all the T10 lamps with T12 lamps. Furthermore, replace the T10/T12 ballast with a dedicated T12 ballast. This will ensure that all the lamps are operating correctly and that they achieve their expected lifespan. To further elaborate on the distinctions between T10, T12, and Tate lamps, it's important to understand their physical dimensions and electrical requirements. The T designation refers to tubular shape, and the number following the T indicates the diameter of the tube in eighths of an inch. Therefore, a T12 lamp is 12/8 inches or 1.5 inches in diameter, a T10 lamp is 10/8 inches or 1.25 inches in diameter, and a Tate lamp is 8/8 inches or 1 inch in diameter. These differences in diameter might seem small, but they are significant in terms of the lamp's electrical characteristics and the type of ballast required to operate them. Ballasts are crucial components in fluorescent lighting systems. Their primary function is to regulate the current flowing through the lamp. Fluorescent lamps require a high voltage to start, and then a lower voltage to maintain the arc. The ballast provides this initial high voltage and then limits the current to prevent the lamp from overheating and failing. Different lamp types have different voltage and current requirements. A T12 ballast is designed to provide the specific voltage and current needed to operate a T12 lamp. If you use a T12 ballast with a T10 lamp, the ballast will provide too much current, which can damage the lamp and shorten its lifespan. Similarly, a T10 ballast is designed to provide the specific voltage and current needed to operate a T10 lamp. If you use a T10 ballast with a T12 lamp, the ballast will not provide enough current, which can also damage the lamp and shorten its lifespan. This situation is further complicated by the introduction of electronic ballasts. Electronic ballasts are more efficient and provide more stable operation than traditional magnetic ballasts. They also offer more flexibility in terms of lamp compatibility. Some electronic ballasts are designed to operate multiple lamp types, but it is important to check the ballast specifications to ensure that it is compatible with the lamps you are using. When selecting a ballast, it is crucial to consider the following factors. Firstly, the lamp type. Ensure the ballast is designed to operate the specific type of lamp you are using, whether it is T12, T10, or Tate. Secondly, the number of lamps. Make sure the ballast is designed to operate the correct number of lamps. Ballasts are typically rated for 1, 2, 3, or 4 lamps. Thirdly, the voltage. Verify the ballast is designed to operate at the correct voltage. Common voltages for fluorescent lighting systems are 120 volts, 208 volts, 240 volts, and 277 volts. Fourthly, the ballast factor. The ballast factor is a measure of the light output of the lamp when operated by the ballast, compared to the light output of the lamp when operated by a reference ballast. A ballast factor of 1.0 indicates that the ballast produces the same light output as the reference ballast. A ballast factor greater than 1.0 indicates that the ballast produces more light output than the reference ballast, and a ballast factor less than 1.0 indicates that the ballast produces less light output than the reference ballast. Fifthly, the energy efficiency. Consider the energy efficiency of the ballast. Electronic ballasts are typically more energy efficient than magnetic ballasts. When replacing a ballast, it is important to follow these steps. Firstly, turn off the power to the fixture at the circuit breaker. Secondly, remove the old ballast. Thirdly, disconnect the wires from the old ballast. Fourthly, connect the wires to the new ballast, following the wiring diagram provided with the ballast. Fifthly, mount the new ballast in the fixture. Sixthly, install the lamps. Seventhly, turn on the power to the fixture at the circuit breaker. It is also important to note that some ballasts contain PCB polychlorinated biphenyls, which are harmful to the environment. If you are replacing a ballast that contains PCB, it is important to dispose of it properly. Contact your local waste management authority for information on how to dispose of ballasts containing PCB. In summary, to ensure the proper operation and longevity of fluorescent lighting systems, it is essential to use the correct ballast for the type of lamp being used. Replacing T10 lamps with T12 lamps and installing a dedicated T12 ballast will resolve the issues you encountered in the auto body shop. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts about the proper installation or maintenance of fluorescent lighting systems. Furthermore, consider the implications of using different types of lamps in a paint booth environment. Paint booths often have specific lighting requirements to ensure accurate color matching and visibility. Using the wrong type of lamp can affect the quality of the paint job. Therefore, it is essential to consult with the paint booth manufacturer or a lighting specialist to determine the optimal lighting solution for the specific application. In addition to the technical aspects of lamp and ballast compatibility, it is also important to consider the safety aspects of working with electrical systems. Always turn off the power to the fixture before working on it. Use appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electrical systems, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. It's also crucial to examine the entire lighting system when addressing lamp failures. Firstly, check the wiring connections. Ensure that all wiring connections are tight and secure. Loose connections can cause the lamps to flicker or fail prematurely. Secondly, inspect the lamp holders. Make sure the lamp holders are in good condition and that they are making good contact with the lamps. Damaged lamp holders can cause the lamps to fail prematurely. Thirdly, evaluate the fixture housing. Ensure the fixture housing is in good condition and that it is providing adequate protection for the lamps in ballast. Damaged fixture housings can create a safety hazard. Fourthly, consider the ambient temperature. Extreme temperatures can affect the performance of fluorescent lamps and ballasts. If the fixture is located in a hot or cold environment, it may be necessary to use a special type of lamp or ballast that is designed for those conditions. Fifthly, check the line voltage. Ensure the line voltage is within the specified range for the ballast. Low or high voltage can damage the ballast and shorten its lifespan. Furthermore, understand the different types of fluorescent lamps, which include firstly, preheat lamps. These lamps require a preheating period before they will start. They are typically used with magnetic ballasts. Secondly, instant start lamps. These lamps start instantly without any preheating. They are typically used with electronic ballasts. Thirdly, rapid start lamps. These lamps start quickly with a short preheating period. They are typically used with electronic ballasts. In addition to the traditional fluorescent lamps, there are also compact fluorescent lamps CFL. CFL are designed to be a more energy-efficient replacement for incandescent lamps. They are available in a variety of shapes and sizes, and they can be used in a wide range of applications. It is important to note that CFL also require a ballast to operate. Some CFL have the ballast integrated into the lamp, while others require a separate ballast. When replacing a CFL, it is important to check the ballast requirements to ensure that you are using the correct type of lamp. And remember, always adhere to the National Electrical Code (NEC) and local electrical codes when installing or maintaining fluorescent lighting systems. These codes provide detailed requirements for the safe installation and operation of electrical equipment. It is important to be familiar with these codes to ensure that your work is safe and compliant. For example, NEC Article 410 covers the requirements for luminaires, lamp holders, and lamps. This article provides information on the proper wiring, grounding, and installation of lighting fixtures. Similarly, NEC Article 430 covers the requirements for motors, motor circuits, and controllers. This article provides information on the proper wiring, protection, and control of motors used in electrical equipment. When working with electrical systems, it is always best to err on the side of caution. If you are unsure about something, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide you with the information and guidance you need to ensure that your work is safe and compliant. Lastly, proper disposal of lamps is crucial. Fluorescent lamps contain mercury, which is a hazardous substance. It is important to dispose of them properly to prevent environmental contamination. Many retailers and municipalities offer recycling programs for fluorescent lamps. Contact your local waste management authority for information on how to recycle fluorescent lamps in your area. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your fluorescent lighting systems operate safely and efficiently, and that you are protecting the environment.